one nation, with liberty and justice for all.
The recordings got me goofed up.
Roll call, please.
Joe, you're gonna get that. Sorry. Counselor Peterson,
Mr. Acting Clerk.
I are here. I am here. Both.
I am here.
Counselor Geisler,
Here.
Counselor Nelson,
Here.
Counselor Housechild, Mayor Boucher.
And I am here also.
I don't know what I'm eyeing to.
Announcements. Do any counselors have any announcements they would like to make? I would like to welcome Gunnar Johnson to the table as our city attorney for his first official meeting as city attorney. Thank you for coming on board. I'd also like to welcome Jackie Dolans as our new city clerk. Thank you, Jackie. She's hiding somewhere behind the curtain with the wizard. Any other announcements? We have no public hearings. Mr. Mulder, communication 21-213.
Just to let the council know that we did receive the grant from the Department of Employment and Economic Development to do further cleanup and investigation regarding the site near Uggstead and Highway 53.
Thank you. Public discussion. This is the time that anyone from the public can address the council about an item not on the agenda. We ask that you limit your time to 3 minutes per person. If you wish to address something that's on the agenda, there will be a public discussion period during that item. Is there any public discussion in a general nature? If so, please state your name and address for the record. Is there any public discussion this evening? Hearing no public discussion, we will move on to the consent agenda. Do we have a motion for the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by
Excuse me.
Counselor Housechild,
Second.
second by Counselor Nelson. Roll call, please.
Counselor Peterson,
I.
Counselor Nelson,
I.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Next, we have resolutions. Resolution 2021-01. Resolution appointing Counselor Geisler as acting mayor.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Counselor Nelson, second by Counselor Peterson. Mr. Mulder, do you have any explanation for this appointment? This is a yearly housekeeping thing that we do, and normally the senior counselor is appointed as acting mayor if they want to be. Are you willing to participate for another year?
Seems like I haven't been called upon too many times, so sure.
Is there any comment from council on this? Is there any public input on this resolution? Is there any public input on resolution 2022-01? If so, state your name and address for the record. With no public input, roll call, please.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Nelson,
I.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson,
I.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2022-02, resolution appointing ex officio members to the Board of Appeals Adjustments, Park Board, Planning and Zoning Commission, Utility Commission, and liaisons to the Fire Department and Airport Zoning Board. The list remains the same as in 2021. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Peterson, second by Counselor Nelson. This is another yearly, or second by Counselor Housechild. Sorry. This is yearly housekeeping and that we have to name every year. Any questions or comments from council? Is there any public input on resolution 2022-02? If there's any public input on this resolution, please state your name and address for the record. With no public input, I would ask for a roll call.
Counselor Nelson,
I.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2022-03. Resolution authorizing and directing Mayor Wayne Boucher and City Administrator John Mulder to sign checks and drafts for the city of Hermantown with alternates acting Mayor Geisler and Director of Administration Kevin Orm. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Housechild, second by Counselor Nelson. It's another yearly bit of housekeeping identical to the last year. Do any counselors have any comment on this? Is there any public comment on resolution 2022-03, the authorization to sign checks? If there is any public input on this resolution, please state your name and address for the record. Roll call, please.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. We have a little break here, but resolution 2022-04, resolution authorizing and directing mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement and deliver agreement for professional services with Northland Consulting Engineers LLP for city engineer services. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Housechild, second by Counselor Nelson. Mr. Mulder?
So this is an annual thing that we do, is approve the city engineer contracts. There's an increase this year, but we haven't seen one in the last 3 years. So we're recommending this contract.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from counselors?
My comments, the usual with the contract award to Northland is that my son works for Northland Consulting Engineers, and the result of this contract has no financial benefit for neither myself or my son.
Thank you. Any other comments from council?
Just thank you for the continued work to David and his staff, and you always do a great job and are a good partner for the city.
Yeah, thanks.
Anything else from council?
I've learned a lot.
He works well under pressure.
Yes.
Sewers are exciting, right?
Yes.
Is there any public input on resolution 2022-04? If so, please state your name and address for the record. Any public input on the appointment of the city engineer services for 2022? Roll call, please.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2022-05, resolution approving tentative agreement and authorizing and directing mayor and city clerk to execute and deliver agreement with Law Enforcement Labor Services Local Number 47 for the period of January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2024. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Peterson, second by Counselor Geisler. Mr. Mulder.
So this is the contract for the police department for 22, 23, and 24. They're very similar to the other two contracts that you've previously approved with AFSCME and the Public Works Union. We did, in order to settle this, provide an additional some money for the uniform allowance, but we feel good about this contract, and so we recommend your approval.
Thank you. Any comments from councilors? Is there any public comment on resolution 2022-05? If so, state your name and address for the record. Is there any public comment on this resolution? Roll call, please.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2022-06, resolution approving wage rates for part-time employees in 2022.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Nelson, second by Counselor Housechild. Mr. Mulder.
Again, this is an annual thing that we do for our part-time employees and our seasonal employees. We provide some kind of increase for your consideration. These increases are similar to what we have done with our unionized workforce.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Is there any public input on resolution 2022-06? If anyone wishes to comment on this resolution, please state your name and address for the record. Roll call, please.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2022-07, resolution authorizing and directing mayor and city clerk to execute and deliver agreement for the use of the city of Hermantown athletic fields with Hermantown Youth Baseball Association. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion by Counselor Peterson, second by Counselor Geisler. Mr. Mulder?
So this resolution is for youth baseball. And then let me back up. We have use agreements for our parks with all of our youth sports associations. And so we do that on a 3-year term and it goes to the park board. So this 07 is for youth baseball. There's no changes in that. 08 is the same thing for softball. 09 is the same thing for the American Legion baseball. Again, 3-year deals, very similar to what we've done in the past, have gone through the park board.
And no changes?
No changes, really.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on 2022-07 from council? Is there any public input on this resolution? If there is public input, please state your name and address for the record. Roll call, please.
Counselor Peterson,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2022-08, resolution authorizing and directing mayor and city clerk to execute and deliver agreement for the use of the city of Hermantown athletic fields with Hermantown Youth Softball Association.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Peterson, second by Counselor Geisler. We've already had the explanation on this. Are there any comments from council? Is there any public comment on resolution 2022-08, agreement for the use of athletic fields with the Hermantown Youth Softball Association? If there is any public comment on 2022-08, please state your name and address for the record. Roll call, please.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2022-09, resolution authorizing and directing mayor and city clerk to execute and deliver agreement for the use of the city of Hermantown athletic fields with Veterans of Foreign Wars American Legion Baseball.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Peterson, second by Counselor Housechild. We've had this one explained also. Is there any comments from council on this resolution? Hearing none, is there any public input on resolution 2022-09? Is there any public comment on the resolution authorizing the use of city of Hermantown fields by the Veterans of Foreign Wars American Legion Baseball? Roll call, please.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Next, on the agenda, we have recess. Do we have a motion for recess?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Housechild, second by Counselor Nelson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.